Hi, it's Chief Instructor Brett and welcome to the second degree video, which is designed for second degree black belts and above to go through the second degree patterns, the kicks within those patterns and the techniques and expectations of second degree grade. Good, we'll start with a warm up, so just easy jogging on the spot. Bring your fists up, throwing out straight punches. Punching straight up. Punching out to the sides. Good, marching on the spot, curling the heels up behind. Keep your hands in shape and bring the hands back and forth, pulling up the elbows, circles. Keep marching, really curling those heels up hard at the back. Good, bouncing. Bouncing forwards and backwards. Side to side. Bouncing in the box. Other way. Just on the spot, change it to jogging. Good, right leg behind, raises, go. Front kicks, go. Knee raise to the side, go. Really open your hip up. Change legs, straight raise. Front kicks, go. Knee to the side. Feet wide, twisting. Good. Feet straight, legs straight, stretch down, hands to the floor, walk forwards, plank, push up and back. Do those continuously, go. One more. And relax, jogging again. Knees a little bit higher. Good, relax, pick up one leg, side leg raises without putting your leg down. Work on that balance. And change legs. So even if you wobble, try and keep the other leg in the air so you're continuing to remind your body what it wants to do. And relax. Jogging again. Nice big slow arm circles. Backwards. And relax. Okay, I want you now to pause the video and do all three first degree or junior black belt patterns, first degree patterns, just lightly in your own time, and then come back and we'll start second degree patterns. This is the first of the second degree patterns, Wee Am. From Choong Jang, you bring your left leg into your right leg, bring the hands up in a slightly crossed motion and bring them down. That is the Choong Jang position for Wee Am. Right leg back, downward reverse knife hand block with the right. Step the left leg back, add a forearm block, forward stance, stationary midsection punch with the right. Leave the hands where they are, move forwards, low twisting kick, come down, X block, right arm on left. Straight away, a rising knife hand block with the right, so that's a reverse technique because our left leg is still in front. Jump forwards into X stance and execute a high section back fist strike with the right, left hand comes into the finger belly. From here, stationary turning, make sure your left fist comes all the way back to the hip and execute a midsection punch in back stance. Then we do the first of our reverse turn kicks. Now we'll go through these in more detail later in the video in the pattern kicking session. Okay, but just remember, it's midsection and it's at a nice 45-degree angle. So turn, reverse turn kick, recoil, step down, knife hand strike in horse riding stance. Bring your left leg through and do a side kick towards the back. Then step into forward stance and do a high section crescent punch with the right. Bring your left leg up to parallel stance and do a pressing middle turning punch. So parallel stance, our feet are shoulder width apart. So from your forward stance here, come up, mid turning punch, pressing. Left leg back, reverse downward knife hand block. Remember to pull the other fist back to the shoulder. Right leg back, midsection punch in forward stance, stationary midsection punch in forward stance with the left. Leave the hands where they are, twisting kick, step forwards, downward X block. This time your left forearm is on top of your right, so that you can then do the fast motion rising knife hand block with the left. Then jump forwards into X stance and do a left back fist strike. Your right hand comes into the finger belly. We then do our stationary turn, right fist on the hip, back stance, midsection punch. Left reverse turning kick, forwards, horse riding stance, knife hand strike. We then do our right side kick, step into forward stance, high section left crescent punch. Then we bring our left leg up to parallel stance, pressing, turning punch with the right. We now move our right leg forwards and do our midsection knife hand wedging block. Then stationary, left circular block. Then we pull our right leg back into rear heel foot stance and execute a double downward palm block. When we do that, just move this way a little bit. When we do that, the hands are not touching. So the left hand is off the body, right hand is off the left hand. Okay, so you come back and block down. Your right leg is back here in rear heel foot stance. You'll then move it forwards into back stance and do a left mid punch out on a 30-degree angle. You then slide, so your left leg comes up first and you slide back and do a reverse low section, reverse knife hand block or ridge hand block. From there now, left leg forwards, our double knife hand wedging block. Right leg drops down, circular block. So that's a reverse technique, left leg forwards, right circular block. Pull your left leg back, rear heel foot stance, double downward palm block. Left leg slips into back stance, right mid punch on an angle. Pick up your right leg, slide back, execute your downward reverse inward block with the left, and your right fist comes back to the shoulder. We're now going to go for our high section reverse turning kicks, or as high as you can do. These ones don't stop on this big angle, they stop on a much narrower angle, but still short of the centre line. So right, and then get your balance, forward into rear heel foot stance, guarding, then left, and into rear heel foot stance, guarding. Then we step the left leg slightly behind the right leg, and the right leg back into back stance, and do a low section knife hand guard. We slip the right leg back, and do a mid-section punch in forward stance. Pick up the left leg, step all the way back, knife hand guard, knife hand block in back stance, slip the left leg, mid-section punch, forward stance, stationary, so make sure you get the preparation, high section punch to finish the pattern. So you shout, "Da! We am," and say the name of the pattern. You then bring your right leg back. Watch the hands, nice, even preparation. Back to your chumbi for we am. Well done. Practice that. That is the first of the second degree patterns. We'll now do Choong Jang, the second of the second degree patterns. Chumbi for Choong Jang, close stance, right fist, left hand over. Step your right leg across horse riding stance, double block. This is a high section, inner forearm block. This is a low section block with the left. Stationary, change arms. Then bring your right leg back to close stance, pressing, midsection turning punch. Step the left leg forwards and do a right double fingertip strike to the eyes. Step the right leg forwards, do a left double fingertip strike to the eyes. Stationary, back fist strike with the right, going straight forwards. You'll see the preparation. My left heel's off the ground, my right hand acts like I'm lassoing a rope and strike forwards. Step the left leg forwards, rising block in forward stance, right leg forwards, midsection punch in forward stance. Pick up your right leg, turn this way, almost pause, then slide back into guarding. Execute a right front kick, step down, long stance, so it's really long, high section, flat fingertip strike with the right. From here we drop down on our left knee, bring both hands down to take our weight, right leg, turning kick as high as you can, then shift your weight forwards, left hand goes to opposite your right heel and does your midsection punch. Okay, so it will look like this, drop, kick, punch. Then pick up your left leg, come through, turn your back towards your target, left elbow strike. Then we step this way and pivot, turn, face the front, forearm guarding, back stance, right leg back, upward palm block with the left leg back, knife hand strike with the right. Now we turn to face the back, we pivot, step forwards into forward stance, X block with the X block right on left. Now after you've done your block, you're going to push your hands to the side as though you're pushing someone's knee away. At the same time, you execute a right knee strike coming through, then kick coming through but pivot, knife hand guarding towards the front. Step your right leg through, turn, elbow strike towards the back with your right. Then pick your right leg up, pivot, knife hand guarding towards the front. Front leg, side kick, feet together, then step your left leg forward into rear heel foot stance, double downward palm block, straight towards the back. Then step your right leg towards the back into forward stance, high section, inward outer forearm block with the right, then stationary, high section, back fist strike with the right. Pick up your left leg, turn, pivot, have a look, high section, flat fingertip strike in back stance. Now we're going to do the front kick. Just as we do the kick, we grab the wrist. As though someone's grabbed us, you grab them, and then you kick. So from here, grab, kick, then turn, bring your right fist underneath, put your left fist on top. Your fists are off your body, and then as you press your right leg back, you press your fist back to this position. So at normal speed, it looks like this. Back to here. Your left leg is forwards in back stance. It slips in, it was in forward stance. It slips into back stance, downward left backhand strike. Then from here, stationary, you just do a right punch going forwards, but the punch is stopped by your left palm coming back. Step the right leg forwards, downward backhand strike with the right, then do your left punch, and from here, it just comes in. So your punch will end up short, and that's why the hand is there to stop it, or else it would keep going. Stationary turning, pick up your left leg, turn to the front, knife hand strike in back stance. Now we slip the left leg forwards and do a back fist with the right going straight ahead, but our left palm comes up to the bottom of that part of the forearm. Step the right leg forwards, knife hand strike, slip, do your back fist strike. Back fist strike is a high section. Pick up your left leg, pivot towards the back, and do a reverse, there, reverse low section knife hand guarding. So you're in back stance. Now we slip our left leg into forward stance and do a number 9 shape block. Your right hand finishes low. Step your right leg forwards and do another reverse low section knife hand guard. Then we slip into number 9 shape block with your left hand low. Pick up the right leg, prepare by crossing the arms, step backwards, twin knife hand strikes going in a backwards direction, but they stop here. Okay, so if you do happen to be double jointed, don't keep on going and strike yourself in the hands at the back. Stop here. Then stationary, see the arm preparation, right high section arc hand strike. So that's a strike here, you'd be striking the throat. Leave the hand where it is as though you've grabbed. Front kick with the right, step down, arc hand strike with the left. Leave the hand where it is, kick left, midsection punch with the right, stationary, midsection punch with the left. Then we bring our right leg up to close stance and we do a pressing twin knuckle strike into the temple. Okay, now if you look at the way I move for this, you come up, it's like a pressing technique, but it's at slightly faster speed. So come up and come in nice and strong. From here we pivot on our right leg, pivot all the way around, low section knife hand block in forward stance, then stationary open fist punch. So otherwise known as a palm heel strike, but it's called an open fist punch. Then we turn 1, 2, knife hand block, knife hand block in forward stance, then stationary, open fist punch at eye level and shout, "Cha! Choong Jang!" And that completes the pattern. Bring your left leg back into your closed stance. Excellent. That is the second of the second degree patterns, Choong Jang here. We'll now do Kodang Hyang, which we will teach as the third of the second degree patterns. In years gone by, we've taught Juche as the third pattern, and Kodang wasn't part of our curriculum. But in recent years, we've introduced Kodang, and it will be taught as the third pattern in sequence, and Juche will be taught as the fourth. Choong for Kodang, closed stance, open hands, left on right. Step your right leg back on a 45-degree angle horse riding stance. Middle pressing block with the left hand. Stationary, midsection punch with the right. Pick your right leg up, come in first to prepare, then step to the very back, forearm guarding. Stationary, so we prepare with the shoulders, hips, maybe lift the heel. Execute a double block, inner forearm block left, low section block with the right. Pick up your left leg, step back, 45-degree angle, right, middle pushing block. Stationary, punch with the left. Pick up your left leg, prepare, guarding, then stationary, double block. This is inner forearm, this is low section. Pick up your right leg, stationary, double low section block, not stationary, double low section block in your one leg sitting stance. We're going to do a side kick to the back. As we kick, we have a little bit of a look. So look, side kick, step down into back stance, high section, knife hand block. So again, from here, you're in this position, keep your hands where they are, kick, and execute the block. Then pick up your left leg, double block, Then as we kick, have a little look. Side kick, back stance, knife hand block, high section. Then step your right leg back into back stance. Downward elbow strike. Really drop it down nice and strong. Left leg back, downward elbow strike. So your left leg's back, you're striking with the right hand. Now we move our left leg forwards into forward stance, pressing, double palm block. Then step the right leg forwards, pressing double palm block. Move the right leg back into back stance, downward forearm block. So again, you come up high, crash it down, similar to the elbow, but this one's a block. Then you step the right leg forwards, back stance, downward forearm block. Left leg now comes forward into rear heel foot stance, rear heel foot stance, upward palm block with the left. Then move your right leg forwards, same thing. Rear heel foot stance, upward palm block with the right. Now step the right leg just behind the left leg, and then pick up the left leg, front kick straight towards the front. Prepare, forward stance, twin knife hand block. Then stationary, knife hand rising block with the left. Then slip the left leg in, back stance, knife hand guarding low section. Then slip the left leg back out, forward stance, low section block with the right. Now step your left leg slightly behind your right leg, step, and then right leg back, knife hand guarding. And note the preparation. From here, you'll jump straight up, tuck the knees, and land in knife hand guarding in back stance. Good. From here, skip, jump forward into X stance, and do a high section back fist with the right. Now we turn to the back, left leg forwards, high section out of forearm block, straight to the back. Then we stationary turn, high section out of forearm block with the right. Then from here we move the left leg forwards into back stance. See the preparation? Uppercut punch on a slight outward angle with the right, while the left fist pulls back to my right shoulder. Leaving the hands where they are, your right leg will execute a twisting kick. It's as though you're doing a twisting kick. From here, we twist and kick back behind us. So if I'm here, come forwards, kick back behind that way, then step across, back stance, high section knife hand strike. Then we step across. Your right leg is just in front of your left leg, and we do a twisting kick to this side. High section twisting kick behind us. Left leg forwards, high section knife hand strike. Then we step across, feet together. High section knife hand guard. Across, shout, ja! Choong Jang. And we finish with a high section knife hand guard. Bring your left leg back to your closed stance. Excellent work. So that is the third of the second degree patterns in the sequence that we will teach you, Choong Jang. I'm now going to take you through Juche, which is the fourth and final second degree pattern. Choong, and then Choong for Juche, feet shoulder width, fists on your hip. Step to your left, horse riding stance, double inner forearm block. Rise up in the stationary stance, hooking block, press back down and execute a punch with the left. Pick up your right leg, twin outer forearm block straight to the front, then out in one leg sitting stance. Keep the hands where they are, press the side kick to the side, then come around, and then high section, if you can, hooking block, hooking kick. Step forwards or jump forward into X stance and do a right high section back fist strike. Then you do a kick with your left, which is it's like half an outward crescent kick. Comes around and stops at knee height, then stationary side kick, step down into knife hand strike, horse riding stance. We then pivot into a narrow forward stance, and our left hand comes to our right fist, and we do an elbow strike at neck height. Then step your left leg in front of your right leg and execute a left reverse low section knife hand block. And your left hand comes down, finger belly of your right hand comes down, finger belly on the wrist. So from here, come across and block. You then move your right leg and spin this way, right leg, knife hand guard in back stance. We're then going to jump up. When we jump, we're going to travel. So our right leg starts here. When we land, our right leg should be there as well, so our left leg will travel forwards. So from guard, we jump and do a jumping knife hand strike. You want the strike to land while you're still in the air. So strike, then you land. Then you step your right leg through, horse riding stance, twin inner forearm block. Rise up with the left, sink down, punch with the right. Pick your left leg up, twin blocks with the outer forearm. Pressing side kick with the left, come around, rise up, hook, jump forwards into X stance, back fist strike with the left. Now with your right leg, you're going to execute the outer, like an outward crescent kick, executed like a twisting kick. So this one, it comes across like this, almost like you're blocking away someone who's stepping towards you. So the right leg does that technique, then right side kick, step down, knife hand strike in horse riding stance. I'm just going to move this way a little bit. From here you pivot into a narrow forward stance, left elbow strike. Then step your right leg in front of your left leg. Your right hand does the reverse low section knife hand block. Your left finger belly comes down on top of the bottom part of the forearm. You then spin this way, left leg forwards, knife hand guard in back stance. We do our jump spin, knife hand strike, and land with our right leg in front. Left leg now comes through and does an axe kick. Control the foot, don't let it hit the ground, and then execute forearm guarding. No, rear heel foot stance guarding. So it will look like this after your strike, axe kick, rear heel foot guarding. You then bring your right leg in, turn to the front, and execute closed stance like a Choong Jang from Choong Jang. We are then going to step our left leg back. Now I'm going to walk forwards because I'm going to run out of room in my garage. So my left leg will come back into rear heel foot stance. Left leg back and the right foot slides back. So we slide in a little direction, downward elbow with the right. Then your right leg slips forwards and you do a high section arc hand strike. Strike into your own centre line. Then your right leg comes back and you slide the left into rear heel foot stance, downward elbow. Your left leg slips and you do a high section arc hand strike with the right. Step your left leg back into forward stance, twin inward knife hand strike at neck height. Then you'll step your right leg back and execute a reverse downward punch, low section punch, with the left hand. From here, you'll step your left leg back slightly behind your right, then your right leg back, and do a downward forearm block. And you're in back stance. Now, here is where we do our jumping reverse turning kick. This kick I've broken down in the next section of this video, but remember, we're trying to jump backwards. So jump and guard. Then we step and come back and we block with the right. Then we jump backwards and we guard. We now do our two-step split kick and land in our double upward palm block. So we step right then left and we land in our angled stance, which is like a horse riding stance, but your left foot is slightly in front of the right. But both your feet are still parallel facing this way. You've executed a high section double palm block with both hands in front. Very challenging technique. You then bring your right leg through and execute an elbow strike to the back in rear heel foot stance. Okay, now I'm going to adjust again for room. You'll need to keep adjusting when you do patterns in a restricted area, particularly Juche. So I've got my rear heel foot stance, right leg this way, done a right elbow. Then from here, I do a stationary double low section block, one leg sitting stance. I then move into a pressing side kick, and I just have a sneaky look. I don't turn my head this way, I just little sneaky look, trying to keep your hands where they are, then step forwards, high section back fist strike in back stance. You'll then bring the right leg up to parallel stance and do a straight fingertip slice, which is like a slice coming across. Your left fist comes back to the hip. We're then going to jump forwards. While we're in the air, our right hand will come back and we'll do a high section punch, then our right hand will come back again and we'll do an upset punch. From here, we'll look like this, and we land with our feet together. We then step our right leg forwards into forward stance and do a downward knife hand strike with the left. And then we step our left leg forwards, Juche, and we finish the pattern with our key hap. Our left leg is forward, we've done a right punch. We then bring our right leg up and we come back to our Choong. Excellent. So that completes Juche. It is a very challenging pattern, and as you can see from some of my demonstration kicks, there is always work to do. I've got work to do on that pattern. All my second degree and above senior black belts have work to do on that pattern, but it is a lot of fun to do. I'm now going to take you through all the kicks in Weam, which is the first of the second degree patterns. So the first kick happens, we've got a bit of noise going on upstairs, so bear with me. The first kick happens from forward stance, right punch, and we do a low twisting kick with the left leg. So when we do the low twisting kick, it's important that our preparation comes on the inside of the centre line, and then we kick through the centre line and follow through past the centre line. So if you imagine my centre line is here, in line with my belly button, I can prepare and kick across. So in the pattern, it will look like this: prepare, kick, and then into the downward X block. Let's practice that 4 times. Hana. And then we do the knife hand. Do. Set. Net. Good. Then a bit later on in the pattern, well, there's the reverse turning kick, but I'll get to that. We'll just do the second twisting kick now. So it's when we've done a left punch. So it's after the out of front block, punch, and then twisting kick with the right. Same thing, remember there's our centre line. So I'm preparing here and kicking across that way. Hana. When you do the block, make sure it's left on right. Do. Set. Net. And you add the knife hand block straight afterwards. Okay. Another one of the kicks in the pattern is done as a combination. It's the reverse turning kick, followed by the knife hand strike, and then the side kick. So I'll do it as one. So they come after we've done the back stance, midsection punch. I'll move back a little bit. So you've done your back fist this way, turn, midsection punch in back stance. Then we do the reverse turning kick, knife hand strike, side kick, high section crescent punch. With these reverse turning kicks, the first 2 in the pattern, we're going for midsection and we're looking to stop them on a nice angle. I talk about 45 degrees. With the reverse turning kick, you're imagining multiple attackers. One here, one here. So it's not a spinning heel kick, because if we do a spinning heel kick, the power's here. It's not going to do anything out here. So with the reverse turning kick, we really pick that leg up early, and then it's like, bang, we whack it in that way. So it's like picking up your fist here, like this, it's that motion. It's not a spinning motion. So we pick the leg up, kick and stop, recoil, step, knife hand strike. Then we drive the knee through for the side kick, and then step down and do our high section crescent punch. Okay, let's work through 4 of those. My right leg is back. Let's go. Punter. Do. Walk, wobble. So when you do these, you sort of let your shoulder go, and then to stop the heel, you just pull the shoulder back the opposite direction. So if I'm doing a right reverse turning kick, when I get to where I want to stop my foot, it's like I tighten my right shoulder back that way just to tighten the screw or to stop the spin happening. So if you think about let the shoulder go and then bang, just pull it back and you stop that motion. Okay? That's enough on this leg. Let's change legs. Just move the bud. So now, left leg behind our right punch. So reverse turning kick, knife hand strike, side kick, reverse high section crescent punch. Again, right leg in front, go. One more. Go. Okay, so with the first 2 lots of kicks in the pattern, the twisting kick and then that reverse turning and side kick, they're exactly the same on both sides of the body. They're symmetrical. The final 2 kicks of the pattern are not symmetrical. They are high section reverse turning kicks. When we do high section, we don't stop at 45 degrees, we stop it at about 70 degrees, and we're looking to kick high section, or if you struggle with your flexibility, it's as high as you can go. The main difference though in the symmetry is the right kick is done from back stance. We slide back to this reverse low section knife hand block, and then we'll do a high section reverse turning from back stance. After that first kick, we step down into rear heel foot stance, and then we do the second kick with the left. So we'll do them in combination. So we're in back stance, right leg back. High section, reverse turning, rear heel foot guard, reverse turning, and then you step down in another rear heel foot guarding. Okay, so it's the same principle as the earlier reverse turning kick, same principle with the body, but we just prepare a little narrower and we stop here. We don't have to pick our leg up quite as early because we don't want our power here hitting something, we want our power here. And you want to hit and stop. That's the beauty of this kick, trying to get that control. So again, go. Again. So I've just realised that the second one I showed you, the one just before that, I stopped it too early. That one just then, much better. That's what I wanted. Okay, last time, you're trying to stop here and stop here. Here with the right, here with the left. Go. Excellent. All right, that is the WM kicks. They're all the kicks for WM. Now we'll move on to Choong Jang. I'll now go through the kicks from Choong Jang, which is the second of the second degree patterns. The first kick we come to in the pattern, we've got our right leg back in forearm guarding. We do a high section front kick, step down, high section flat fingertip strike in long stance, which is just a little bit longer than forward stance. So after your front kick, you shouldn't just feel like you just step down. It should feel like you really go forwards into it. So it's a long stance. So it's this long as opposed to this long. So it's only about an extra 15 centimetres. After your long stance, high section flat fingertip, we then bend that left knee and drop the knee down. When you do that, the left foot will kick across in this direction. Okay, so from here, you'll see the left foot kicks in and hooks underneath. So you need that for correct pivoting for the turning kick so that you don't really hurt your knee. So from this position, drop down onto the knee, you put the left hand down first, then you're going to do a right turn kick. As we do that, we put the right hand down as well and the left hand should slide back. How your hands actually work on the floor will kind of be up to you. So you don't have to think, oh, Instructor Brett said I've got to move this hand here. It should just be that your hands naturally allow the turning kick to come out. If you place your hands here and don't move them, you can't really kick. So you will find that your hands will slide back to allow that range on the turning kick. Now the turning kick is as high as you can make it. Okay, it's actually described as a high section turning kick. Now, obviously it's not high section to someone standing, but it's high section to someone kneeling, which if they're kneeling at your height here, bang, that's the height you want to kick. Okay, so from your flat fingertip strike, drop down, hands down, turning kick with the right, then come forwards, put your hand up this way, put your left hand level with your right foot, and do a straight punch at eye level. Okay, so after the turning kick, one, punch, and then you'll move through to this. Let's practice that a couple of times. So we're in guarding, right leg back. Do it with me. Front kick, long stance, drop, turning kick, move the hands, punch, come through, elbow strike. When you do the elbow strike, remember we're in a back stance. The back stance is facing the front, and our strike's going to the back. Again, we're guarding, front kick, flat fingertip, drop, turning kick, punch, and my hand is moved up, and it's in line with my heel. It's probably more in line with the heel. I don't think it needs to be up with the ball of the foot. In line with the heel, punch, come through, elbow strike. Last time, we're guarding, front kick, long stance, drop the knee, turning kick, shift, and punch. The punch and the left hand moving up happen simultaneously. You don't move your hand up and then throw a punch. From here, if you watch my left hand, it comes up, bang, and the hand stops when my punch hits. Okay, so that's that motion. Now later on in the pattern, you'll turn into a knife hand guarding. So we've done an elbow this way, stationary turn, knife hand guarding, then it's a front leg side kick. So I'm going to do it this way. So from here, we do our side kick, feet together, then the left leg goes forward in rear heel foot stance, and we do our twin downward palm block. Now with the front leg side kick, it's important you get enough chamber. You don't want this, where you just sort of pick your leg up and flick out the lower half of it. You need to create some chamber space. So to do that, you think about picking your knee up, getting towards this left shoulder. Now, I don't want you to actually touch your shoulder if you're very flexible. Just make sure that your knee comes up in a chamber position, not straight up, and then flick. Okay? So I'll do one more side on. You can do it with me. Let's go. Side kick, feet together, double palm block. Next one I'm going to do facing this way. So really notice the chamber on my side kick. Go. Side kick, step down and block. Last one, I'm going to face the back. Ready? Go. Kick, step, block. And you get nice block down as you drop into that stance. Should feel like quite a nice, strong kick. Okay, the next kick we come to, we've turned and we do a high section flat fingertip strike with the left. Now just as we go to kick, we grab that wrist. And that's like someone has grabbed us and we grab them. And once you've grabbed them, you can kick quite comfortably. Okay, so strike, grab, kick. So that we grab as we start the kicking motion, but we've well and truly grabbed before our foot reaches the end of its kick. So it should look like this, that motion. So to grab, I've started coming forward, but I haven't lifted the foot off the ground yet. It all happens smoothly. After your kick, I'll do it this way now. After the kick, turn, swap the fists over, left fist on right, pressing, driving back into our forward stance. Okay, let's practice the front kick a couple of times. So from back stance, high section, flat fingertip, remember? High section, not mid section. Grab and kick, go. Start to turn, and then relax. Again, go. Start to turn, and then relax. Now we're going to do the full turn. Last one from here with the full turn at the end. Go. Excellent. The last two kicks of the pattern, we've just done our double knife hand strikes to the side with right leg back. We then do our stationary arc hand block, arc hand strike. Now from here, we've done a strike with the right, and you're doing a right front kick. So you imagine reaching forward and striking, or grabbing and then kicking. So basically you're kicking a kick up through, underneath where you've grabbed, and aim for that same high section point. So from here, kick, then step forwards with a single arc hand reverse, so it's right leg forward, left arc hand, and then we come forward with the left kick. I'll go back a little further. So do it with me, right leg back, right hand in front. Leave the hands where they are when we kick. Right kick, left strike, left kick, right midsection punch, and then we will do left midsection punch. Let's do that twice. Right leg back, right hand, kick, strike, kick, punch, punch. Last time, right hand in front, kick, strike, kick, punch, punch. Excellent. That completes the kicks for Choong Jang. Practice hard. Okay, the kicks for Kodang. There aren't many kicks in this pattern, but some of them are a little bit tricky. The first two kicks we'll do are the right and left one leg sitting stance back kicks, where we have that position and we do the back kick. Now if you know Juche, you'll know that there's a pressing version of this kick with the left leg. In Kodang, they're both done fast. So the first one we come to is right leg up, and we kick behind us, and then we step down and do a high section knife hand block. Okay, following that, we then kick the left leg up, kick behind us, and then we step down. Now when you kick, you look where you're kicking, and then you look back to the front to do your block. So if I start here and work backwards, it will look like this. I'm up here, I'm looking straight ahead, look behind, block, up, look behind, and block. So these are high section knife hands, so remember your fingertips are at eye level. Okay, let's do that again. Start with your right leg up, pause first, let's do the whole thing. Go, kick, block, block, kick, block. Again, right leg up. Go, kick, block, up, kick, block. Now, I wobbled then, and that's the reason I wobble is because on my first right side kick, I felt myself kick out to the side a little bit. So then I was concentrating on correcting that with my left, and I pulled my body weight. So it is hard to gauge where these kicks are going. Because they're sort of kicking behind us, sometimes you can kick a little bit off centre, so you really need to work on that. Let's do that one more time. So maybe even stand there, find a point on the wall, and go, that's what I'm going to aim for. So we're guarding, go, kick, block, up again, kick, block. Okay, the next kick in Kodang, we're in right rear heel foot stance, right leg in front, and we've just done our upward palm block with the right. We then step behind and do a front leg front kick. Now with your front leg front kick, you've got to make sure you're getting forward motion on the kick. We don't want to rise the leg up, so don't kick too high. So from side on, we look like this, step behind, leave the hands where they are, front kick, and then we step into our forward stance and do our twin knife hand block. Okay, so I'll do a couple with you, facing the front. Right leg starts in front, let's go. Step behind, kick, strike. Again, go. Step behind, kick, strike. Now I'll do a couple from side on. So when we're in this rear heel foot stance, it's short. When we step behind to the same distance. I don't want you to step back to back stance distance. We step back to rear heel foot distance because you should be thinking of it as a front leg, front kick from rear heel foot stance. So we're here, step to rear heel foot stance and do the kick. Now, one more tip. My right heel is in the air because it's a rear heel foot stance. When I step behind, my right heel is still in the air until I lift the knee for the kick and then my heel transfers back down. Okay, so I don't want you to go and plonk that foot because it should feel like a light step. It shouldn't feel like you're putting a heavy footprint. Step, kick, and strike. Okay? That completes that. We've got 2 more kicks to go, which are the quite tricky twisting kicks. So the first of the twisting kicks, we've just done an uppercut punch on a slight angle, and our right leg is back in back stance. Now, up until this point in earlier patterns, so in Gaybeck and in Weam, we've done low section twisting kicks that have been here. They're as though someone is attacking you this way and you can hit down low, stomach or groin. This twisting kick is completely different. It's as if you've got someone standing here on the side of you and you want to do a twisting kick at high section. So it's quite a challenging kick. So from this position, we bring our knee through. Now we don't bring our knee through here and cross the centre line because we're not just kicking there now. So if we're kicking there, you want this much motion. So we're kicking here, so we want this much motion. You want to bring your foot out on about a 45-degree angle, maybe a little bit less to start the motion. So from here, come up and kick around behind you. So you're trying to open your hips up and do this. Now, I'll just give you a quick tip. A good stretch for this is this. Straighten the leg and open your leg out and trying to keep that heel and this shoulder on the ground. Stretch that around and out. So that's a really good stretch for this twisting kick motion. If you can't hold your heel and do that, use a belt. Okay, so back to the kick. From here, we come up, twisting kick, prepare, high section knife hand strike. So make sure your strike is at high level. Now we do the twisting kick with the left. This one's even harder because we don't have any momentum. From the first kick, we have momentum of coming through from that back stance. Here, we step in front. So from side on, you just step your left leg in front of your right, and then you're trying to do a twisting kick to this side because there's someone else here, and you've got to kick this way. So I'll show you again the 2 kicks. Right twisting kick, high strike, step across, high twisting, knife hand, high section with the left. Let's do that 2 times together. Right leg behind, go. Twisting kick, strike, twisting kick, strike. One more time. Now for your first twisting kick, you leave the hands where they are. So kick, prepare, strike. Then when we step across, we don't leave our knife hand there. We bring it in, twist, and strike. Okay, that is the Choong Jang kicks. So now you're ready for the tricky ones, which will be Juche. Okay, I'm now going to take you through the kicks from Juche and just break them down in a little more detail. So the first kick we come to in the pattern is after we've gone to our left, come up, punch. So it's when our right leg is in the air. So we'll move back into the camera shot a little bit. So we've just gone into our one leg sitting stance. Remember, our arms are pushing forwards. Then we want to hold the arms where they are, and we do a pressing side kick out to the side. Now, just as the kick reaches the end, we start to move it. So we don't press it and hold it and then start to move it. You'll see that it starts to move. Now the objective here is that you do your pressing kick out to the side, and then you try and keep it at midsection height all the way around, until you get to about here, and then you want to rise it up and do your hooking kick. So it's as though there's someone here, and you just gently do your hooking kick around. So it's very challenging height-wise. So whatever you do with your heights, try and vary that height a little bit. So from this position, press side, come around, rise, hook, and then jump forwards into your back stance, your back fist strike in rear heel foot stance. Now you'll notice that I wobble a little bit back this way, okay, which tends to happen when I'm going for that extra height. Okay, and now a bit later on in the pattern, we'll do it to the other side as well. So we'll have our left leg in front, left leg up, we do our pressing side kick with our left, come around, rise, hook, and do our back fist strike with our left this way. So we're now going to practice that 3 times on each leg. Start with our right, go. That's 1. Go. That's 2. Last one. Go. And that's 3. Okay, we're now going to practice with our left. Go. Wobbling a bit. And last one. Go. Okay, so as you can see, sometimes when your balance is a little bit off, those kicks can be quite a lot of work. Now, when we've done the first one of these, which is our right leg, we come around and we finish this way. So we're in our X stance, doing a back fist strike. I'm going to do it this way so I can show you the next kick. When I was talking through the pattern earlier in the video, I said that this kick was at knee height. It's actually at midsection height, and it's called a middle hooking kick, but it's not a hooking kick like we know a hooking kick. We perform it in a twisting kick motion, and we stop it at that centre line like a blocking motion with an outer blade of the foot. So middle hooking kick, it looks like this, and comes up and blocks, bang. Then we recoil, then you do your side kick, straight through, and do your knife hand strike. Okay, and it's the same when we go the other way. So let's start with our left leg. We're going to practice. We've done your right back fist strike, middle hook, and then side kick. Go. Second time. Go. 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 And relax. Okay. Now the other way, we'll have our left hand just done our back fist strike, and our right foot is hooked behind. So whichever leg is doing that middle hook, it's the one tucked behind. So when you do the kick, you actually pivot the hips to start. Okay, watch, I just pivot to open that gap, and then my leg comes out, my knee comes through on that 45-degree angle, which is what gives us that sideways power. You want to feel like you're going this way with your leg. So from the X stance, let's practice it 4 times. Go. X stance, back fist. Go. And I should have said when you do your middle hooking block, you keep your hands where they are. So the hands stay. 1. Then you put your hands in for the second one, which is the side kick. Last time. Go. Excellent. Okay. Still quite challenging. The next kick is the axe kick. All right, we only do this with the left leg. So we've just done a jump and landed in our knife hand strike. So we do the axe kick. If you're going for a traditional axe kick, which is toes up, strong foot coming down with your heel. Okay, so you bring the axe kick through from here, a little bit on the inside, not too wide, so it's up and down, and you control it at the end just before the floor. Keep it straight till it stops at the bottom, just above the floor. Don't bend it too early. So you do your axe kick, and then step forwards in your rear heel foot stance. And you'll see how I stop the kick, prepare the arms to come through to the guard. Okay, let's practice that. So from back stance, knife hand strike. Go. 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 And last one. Go. Excellent. Okay, so we then go through all our hand techniques, our downward elbows, and then we come to our jumping reverse turning kick. So in Wee Am we did reverse turning kicks. This is the first time we've attempted it as a jump. And just to make it a little bit more challenging, we have to jump backwards. And the reason we have to jump backwards is because it's sort of a defensive kick if someone's advancing, and we jump and we kick. And we're not doing it as a jumping spinning heel kick. Okay, we're not looking to jump and come through, because then our balance is back. So it's like as someone advances, we jump, bang, we would hit, then we're ready to come forwards. So in the video, I told you that actually I don't think I set a distance. So wherever your back leg is where I want your front leg to land when you jump backwards. So from side on, I'm going to show you a jumping reverse turning kick with my right leg. So my left leg is here, my right leg is in line with the camera. When I jump back, I want my left leg to come back to that point. So that's how far you need to jump back, one back stance distance. Okay, so I'll do these ones side on with my right. Actually now I'll show you from front on what I want you to do with the leg. It comes up, comes around straight, and we want to stop it here just before the centre line, and we want to control it, and then in the pattern we're going to step forwards into our guarding. So we'll look like this. Jump. Now I let that one come a tiny bit past the centre line. That's not what I want. So again, go. Practice again. Go. One more time with the right. Really work on jumping backwards. Go. And you can see I wobbled a little bit. So there's different things you need to focus on. Stopping the leg and controlling it, and jumping backwards. And it's hard to do them both. So sometimes you'll work on controlling the leg and trying to get that motion, and other days you work on jumping backwards. Now let's practice with the left. Go. 2. 3. And one more. Jumping reverse turning with the left. Go. Okay. So when you do that second jumping reverse turning kick in the pattern, you'll finish with your left leg in front guarding. The next move is the split kick. We take 2 steps. So we'll end up back in this position, left leg in front. We then jump, and our left leg, when we jump, our left leg is looking to do a twisting kick off to the side. It's not a front kick, it's a twisting kick. And our right leg is looking to do a jumping side kick this way. So broken down, the right leg jumping side kick would look like this. Right leg behind, 2 steps, and the jumping side kick goes that way. The left leg twisting kick would look like this. That way. We try and put them together. Now, what almost all of us find is in trying to put them together, we lose height And then, because we're worried about our landing, we lose even more height because you want to try and land in your angled stance. So angled stance, it's like a horse riding stance, except the left leg is slightly in front. So when we land in our twin palm block, sometimes people call it a chalice block, when we land, it's like we're in a horse riding stance this way, but our feet are turned. It's not a 45-degree angle, it's probably about a 20-degree angle. So after your split kick, you're looking to land both legs together. So it's very challenging. So let's try and put all that together. 2 steps, split kick, double palm block in angled stance. Go. So then you have a look. I got my stance right, kick was low. Second time, go. So I'm going to do it side on now. So coming from here, I think I'll fit. Go. Ready? Go. Okay. So work on that. You can work on it by breaking down the kicks. If you have a target, if you have someone holding a focus mitt or a paddle, or even hang a tennis ball from the ceiling, you can work on the individual kicks. And then if you're hanging 2 tennis balls, you can work on both kicks together. Okay, the final kick in Juche is the pressing back kick. Okay, I think I described it as a side kick when I was going through the pattern because it's that same motion, but it's actually a back kick because obviously our back is to the target. So it's when we've just done our rear heel foot stance, right elbow strike, and we come to this position. We come to a double low section block, 1 leg sitting stance, and we're looking in the opposite direction. We then do our pressing back kick, and we just have a little look. So this kick is about balance and control. So I'll show you from side on. From here, we come to this position, keep the knee up, and come through that way. Okay, from this angle, I've done my elbow, come up, I try and keep my knee nice and high, kick, and come down. Let's practice that 4 times. I'll do it with you, 2 side on, 2 back on. Position, 1. Position again. Keep the hands where they are when you kick if you can. 2. Now back on, into the position. 3. And last one. 4. Excellent. Okay. Now I got a little bit puffed just doing those kicks because they're very intense kicks. You've really got to work at them. And when you're doing Juche, you only get 1 chance at each kick. So you try and make it your best. So as much as you practice the whole pattern lots of times, I actually suggest sometimes you go through the pattern and when you get to those kicks, practice the kick 5 times as well. Okay, so really get good at the kicks because the kicks really do make that pattern. Good work. I'm now going to show you some dynamic kicks that as a second degree, I would expect you to know how to do, to be able to perform with both legs, and to be working towards the sort of power that would break a board. Now, as with all dynamic kicks where you're leaving the ground, the real measure of the kick is, well, there's a few different measures. You've got to have the correct technique and enough power, but you also want to be aiming to hit the target before your foot gets back on the ground, your other foot gets back on the ground, which is quite challenging for some of us who aren't big jumpers, and it's also a lot harder to measure if you're just kicking into the air. So if you've got someone at home who can hold a paddle or a mitt, that's great, or you can hang a tennis ball from the roof. The first one we're going to do is our front leg jumping, spinning, turning kick. This kick can be done without a step or with a step. So without a step, front leg is going to kick, we just pick the back leg off the ground, we pivot around, we hop, and we do the turning kick. So So I'm kicking with my right leg. So my left leg comes round, hop, and I kick with the right. So with your left leg, you're looking to create fast turning motion. Okay, I'm looking to spin that left knee around. When it gets to the centre line, or just before the centre line, that's when I'm leaving the ground with my right leg. And my left knee should then open to allow the turning kick to come through. So just as when we do a turning kick, that hip opens. When we did our jumping front leg turning kicks, that trailing leg opens. So the same with the step jump spin or the non-step jump spin. So it's the same kicking motion whether we step or not. So again, this one's without the step. Right leg in front, pivot, jump and kick. And you can see that I actually finished with my left foot turned all the way around. So while I was in the air, I pivoted to that point to make sure I get my hips around. So with the other leg, left leg, jump, spin, pivot, and kick. Now I lost height then, but I still got the technique to come around. And that's really what I want you to work on, getting the technique. Now, as I said, you can do this with a step. So with a step, you put your kicking leg behind instead of in front. Then I take one step and jump, pivot, and do the kick that way. It's exactly the same motion once you get to the end of the first step. So kicking leg behind, one step, jump, spin, and kick. So there's no step, jumping, spinning, turning kick, and one step, jumping, spinning, turning kick. Maybe pause now, practice a few on each leg. The next kick is the front leg flying spinning heel kick. You can do this with a step and without a step. So first of all, I'll show you without a step. It's always good to try and learn these type of spinning kicks without the step, because then you're learning the pure movement of the kick without adding some momentum or some complications of the step. So we have our kicking leg in front, and we're going to try and execute a spinning heel with that leg. So that's my right leg, so it's going to go this way. So to create that motion, I jump and leave the ground, and I start to spin. See, my left shoulder's back here. I want to spin and do the kick, and at the completion, when my leg lands, my left shoulder's in front. And it's actually spun 540 degrees. If you think about my left shoulder's here, it comes around again, and then I finish here. Okay, so that's the kind of motion you want to get to. Now the objective is that your kicking foot is going through the centre line, through the target, while your other leg is still in the air. So that's where you need enough height. But this kick isn't just about height because it's about spinning. So I don't want you to jump up, because then you've really got nowhere to go. Okay, so you need to jump and spin and get your body around quickly. It's important that you keep the hip turned over for the kick, so it's in a spinning heel position. If you open that right hip, if you open it, your toes go up and it comes round as a completely different kick, which is a form of outward crescent kick, which we don't want for this, because this is a spinning heel kick. So kicking leg in front, initiate the spin with your shoulders, leave the ground, and kick. Now you can see I lost my balance after the kick. That's because I put a little bit too much oomph in going forward and not enough relaxing and trying to get height with my hips. So from there, come around and kick. With my other leg, spin this way, come around and kick. Now if you want to add the step, that's completely fine. You now put your kicking leg behind and you take one step and you don't force your shoulders this way, but you allow the shoulders to turn into a natural position of a back stance. Okay, I don't want us to do this. I don't want to sort of creep forward like I'm going to do a jumping side kick from Choong Jang or something. My hips, my shoulders are like this, I step and my shoulders are like this, then I'll launch and do my kick. When you're learning the kick, you might want to use your arms a little bit just to assist, to try and remind your shoulders what to do. Okay, so one step, jump, and kick with the right. Now with the left, my left leg is behind. One step, jumping kick with the left. Now, as you've probably seen, I ended up over here a little bit. We don't want that. Ideally, we want to end up dead centre. So I want you to work on kicking that centre line and trying to finish as close to that centre line as you can. That's one step, flying spinning heel kick, or no step, flying spinning heel. Practice now. Okay, the last kick I want you to work on in this dynamic kicking section is jumping, spinning, outward crescent kick. So the kicking leg will be behind. We're looking to end up with a outward crescent kick motion this way, but we jump, spin, and land in a full circle. So if we show it without the jump first, you're trying to create a spin. With your shoulders, it's a similar spin to a spinning heel kick. You start to spin as you would with a spinning heel, but your hips are completely different. As soon as I start to spin and pick that leg off the ground, I allow my hips to open. Okay, so I want my right hip to come around, because at kicking point, my hips are this way. With a spinning heel, the hips are 90 degrees rotated in a different direction. So it's a completely different kick. So without the jump, spin, outward crescent kick. So whether you jump or not, you want to think about your motion bringing you back to where you started. So even if I do the jump and I land early, oh well I didn't, I brought my leg back, which is what I want you to do. I want you to aim to bring this leg back. So when you're first learning the kick, you might find that that's happening, your leg's landing out here. Eventually I want you to get to the point where you do a jump, spin, and land where you started. So ideally, look at this spot on the ground, jump, and land pretty much in that exact same spot. Then just work on the height of your kick. You want to get the height up a little bit. So if you aim up, trying to get your foot up a little bit. So I find the higher I aim, often I land a little bit off centre. That's okay, because I'm working on the height. Then I might bring my height back down and practice landing dead centre again. So jumping, outward, spinning, crescent kick. This one is about getting air time and getting rotation. I'm actually more interested in you landing back here, because that's the motion I want from second degrees and above. I want you to be good at that dynamic jump. And then the kick, we just add that on at the end. So once you've got your spin, then add the kick. Okay, the jump spin is really important. Pause and practice. We're now going to do a little bit of shadow sparring. For this session, you're going to concentrate on front leg kicks and jumping backwards type kicks. So they're defensive kicks, but obviously a kick is an attacking move. So often in free sparring, particularly 2-on-1, even 3-on-1 sometimes as a second degree, you can have people crowding you. And so if you're not using your front leg, you can often find that people are right up in your face and you're doing all this with your hands, and you go to do a kick with your back leg and it doesn't work. So you're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds of shadow sparring, really concentrating on front leg. So just be moving and you'll just do a front leg kick. And then maybe skip back or maybe skip to the side. So I might be here, front leg, and then I might move this way. Okay? So front kick, side kick. You can do front leg turning kicks, but they're a little riskier. The idea of a front kick and a side kick is that it's a straight line kick. So if someone's rushing towards you and you lean onto your back leg and kick, you kind of stop them in their path. If you do a turning kick and they come inside that turning kick, you can be overrun, and remember, if that happens, you're on one leg. So I like the front kick and the side kick. Now jumping backwards as well, we're going to be here and we would jump backwards and kick with our back leg. So our front leg will pump, jump backwards, and we kick with our back leg. So it's the opposite motion to a jumping forwards pumping kick. If we're going to do a pumping kick forwards, our front leg will kick, we'll pump with the back and kick. If we're going to jump backwards, our front leg pumps, and we jump back this way. Now the beauty of the jumping back front kick is that you can change direction as you do it. So if I'm here, okay, I might want to, I've got multiple attackers, I might want to move, one comes this way, I might want to jump and jump that way, and as I did that jump I shifted, which creates room from one attacker but still does a defensive but aggressive kick towards the other. You can do side kicks as well. Okay, they're a lot trickier. I'll do this one. You can jump back and more of a pushing side kick, but that one is a lot harder and I'm probably not flexible enough really to do it. So pause now, 3 lots of 30 seconds, really working on your front leg kicks and thinking about being rushed. So people rush you, defend and kick. Make sure you keep your hands up when you kick. Go. That completes the second degree video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've shown you how I would like you to perform the patterns and do the kicks within those patterns. It's pretty important to get the techniques right. I've also run through a couple of dynamic kicks. I really want you to work on them because as a second degree and above, it's really important that you can do those kicks. Now, I want you to stretch. I'm not going to take you through any stretches now, but I really want you to have a good stretch at the end of this. The muscles I want you to concentrate on are your hamstrings, your hip flexors, your adductors, maybe your glutes from all the jumping kicks. Okay, so as second degrees and above, I know you know some stretches for that, so work on it. And if you don't know any stretches, have a look at one of the videos where there's some stretching. Well done.